Welcome to Ringside Ramble. I'm Niall, and this is a brand new boxing channel set up to bring you all the latest content, fight content from around the globe. I'll be bringing in news, previews, predictions, breakdowns, reviews, all that good stuff. Yeah, just a boxing fan with a passion that wants to share that passion with as many other boxing fans as possible. So, before we get into today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you could give us a subscribe. Starting this channel from scratch, trying to get it off the ground, just sharing our love for the sport. So give us a subscribe to Ringside Ramble, follow us on X, and yeah, drop this video a like, hit the bell notification. I'll be bringing you plenty of content, hopefully over the next while. Yeah, so let's get into it. Today, there's no better place to really start than with an absolute bona fide super fight. I'm going to be giving you my kind of breakdown, my preview and prediction for this coming Saturday's huge mega fight, the undisputed light heavyweight title fight between two unbeaten stars, Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. And yeah, just first of all, my thoughts on the fight. As I said, as a boxing fans, it's a dream. It's a fight we've dreamed of for a long, long time. It's a super fight. It's a mega fight between two generational talents. You know, some will say it's the best fight that could be made in boxing, and I'd agree with that. You had your super fights of years gone by. Just recently, Fury Usyk was a dream fight. We got it. Spence Crawford, a dream fight. We got it. Canelo Triple G, we got it. We got it three times over actually, and yeah, we're getting Beterbiev Bivol, which may top the lot to be honest. In terms of the different dynamics in this one and the style, the clash, the mesh of styles. It's the quintessential boxer versus puncher. You've got the supreme boxing skill of Dmitry Bivol and the ungodly power of Artur Beterbiev. Every fight, no fight that he's had, no opponent has heard the final bell against him. He's a generational puncher. He will go down, in my opinion, as one of the biggest punchers of all time, especially if he stops Dmitry Bivol this weekend. Wow, what a statement that'd be. But like he's not a just a puncher. He tends with some people to kind of get pushing into the bracket of just being a bruiser, just being a club and puncher. He's far from it. He's much more than that. And he doesn't really seem to get the credit for it. He's a he is a very, very educated technical boxer as well. His amateur background proves that. His kind of top class amateur background. Yeah, he's far from just a bruising puncher. He has educated footwork, how he closes the distance, how he constantly keeps pressure on his opponents, as well as, while kind of picking them off with that severe, severe punching power. Great jab, great solid jab to break opponents down. And yeah, just the educated pressure that he doesn't really get the credit that he deserves for. Artur Beterbiev. So he's far more than a big puncher, but he is one of the greatest punchers we've ever seen. Um, it's just genetic gifts from Beterbiev. It really is. He doesn't load up on shots. He doesn't swing from the hip. They're short, sharp, clubbing blows. And every time he lands on his opponent, he takes a part of their soul. Really, you can see it in him, in his opponents when they get hit, when that lands on them. They think, what am I in with here? It's almost worse in a way that he's not a one punch knockout artist. It's not a slow death. He's gonna break you down bit by bit, and it's torture for his opponents in there. He's a once in a generation fighter. He really is, but so is his opponent this Saturday, Dmitry Bivol. That's what makes this so fascinating. You've got the power of Beterbiev versus the technical brilliance of Dmitry Bivol. And he's not a big puncher. I think he's a little bit of an underrated puncher, but he's not nowhere near, not in the same stratosphere of Dmitry Bivol, of Artur Beterbiev, in terms of punching power. But he kind of doesn't need to be. He might need to be on Saturday, but everything else he does that's so brilliant. His shot selection, his hand speed, his footwork, his lateral movement, his ability to kind of keep the distance, his kind of his judgment at the distance is just so sharp, so clever, and he's not that elusive, but how he manages the distance with his feet, he's some of the best footwork I've ever seen from a fighter, Dmitry Bivol, and of course, as I say, his shot selection and his hand speed and just his boxing IQ is absolutely incredible. It really is. So yeah, you've got the boxer versus the quote unquote puncher here, and the big questions, I suppose, to kind of break this fight down. The consensus seems to be, and kind of I'd have to agree with it, is that Dmitry Bivol is going to outbox Artur Beterbiev early, and he's going to be kind of up on the cards, which I think he will. I think he will kind of have the better of the early exchanges where he outboxes Beterbiev. However, the big question is, does he have enough in him? Uh, can he be clever enough and kind of technical enough and good enough to evade the power for 12 rounds and keep Beterbiev off him? If it was any other fighter on the planet, I'd say no. But if there's one fighter in the world at 175 pounds who can outbox Artur Beterbiev for 12 rounds and put on a masterclass, it is Dmitry Bivol. With the assets that I mentioned, he's a boxing genius. He's proved it. He's proved it against Canelo. He's proved it against every other opponent who he's beaten. Battle of the unbeatens here. So I do think if there's anybody on the planet that can do it, I suppose at 175, not counting Alexander Usyk, if Beterbiev moved up, Alexander Usyk is a genius that could do it, but Dmitry Bivol can definitely do it. Um, will he? I don't know. The big question here is how will Dmitry Bivol react when Artur Beterbiev lands on? You know, it's not a question of how Artur Beterbiev is going to cope when Dmitry Bivol is outboxing him early, because he'll expect that. Beterbiev, we've seen it before. We've seen him down on the cards before. We've seen him getting outboxed against Alexander Gvozdyk. He was down on the cards against Anthony Yard. This won't be new to him. He won't fluster. He's an insane type of character. He's just so almost psychotic in how focused he is. He won't fluster when he's getting outboxed. He'll stick to his plan. He'll keep clubbing away at Dmitry Bivol. And how Dmitry Bivol handles that is going to be fascinating. The fascinating kind of question here, because if Beterbiev lands, it doesn't matter. He doesn't need to land flush. If he lands on arms, if he lands on gloves, Bivol's going to feel it. It's that type of power. It's George Foreman power. So will Dmitry Bivol be able to evade that for 12 full rounds? I think he can. I think he can put on a masterclass. These people saying that Artur Beterbiev is going to comfortably stop Dmitry Bivol. These people saying that Dmitry Bivol is going to widely outpoint Artur Beterbiev and they're confident on it are lying to you. I don't think you can be confident on this fight one way or the other. No outcome would surprise me. If Beterbiev stopped Bivol, I wouldn't be shocked. If Bivol widely outpointed uh, Beterbiev, I wouldn't be shocked. It's the hardest fight to call. One of the hardest fights ever for me to call, to be honest with you. The only kind of thing I can compare it to is Fury Usyk. These fighters, these two geniuses bring something different that the other doesn't do, and they even each other out so perfectly that I've toed and froed so much on it, and nobody can confidently pick a winner here. If you say that you're confident as I say, you're lying. Surely you can't be that confident on nailing your colours to the mast one way or the other. But I'm gonna try do it now and pick a winner. And it's due to one thing that I haven't mentioned, and I'm gonna touch on it before I give my prediction, is that Artur Beterbiev is 39 years old now, and he is coming off yet another injury, a meniscus injury. You know, he's had a career of inactivity for a fighter his age. And I've backed against him numerous times to my stupid mistake due to these injuries and inactivity. But I think a meniscus injury at 39 years old, it has to catch up with him eventually. I know I keep saying that, but I have a feeling he's going to show the sign of the decline here. I really do. I think he's going to show the effects of injury and activity. Of course, this fight was originally scheduled to take place during the summer before that meniscus injury. And yeah, it's a really tough one to come back from for any athlete at this stage of their career after the injuries that Beterbiev has had. I think it's finally going to catch up with him. Age, injury, and inactivity. I'm not saying it'll be he's still going to be dangerous in there for every second he's in there with that power. And I do think he's going to have his moments. But I think, fighting someone with the movement and the cleverness and the footwork of Dmitry Bivol and just the overall IQ, I think Bivol is going to make those 39 years and that meniscus injury clear. And I think Dmitry Bivol is going to win a points decision here. There'll be some shaky moments, as I say, I think, but I think it'll be a competitive, but a comprehensive win for Dmitry Bivol in an absolutely one of the most highly kind of technical fights and intriguing fights you're ever going to see in this mega fight. But as I say, the big question is, apart from the Beterbiev injuries, how will Dmitry Bivol hold up under the fire of Artur Beterbiev? As I say, Beterbiev, he's used to getting outboxed. He's used to being down on the cards. Bivol, like anybody that Beterbiev has faced, is not used to facing that type of power. He's just not. So that will be fascinating. It really will. Like the biggest puncher he's faced is Joe Smith Jr. And Joe Smith Jr., for anyone who watched that fight, wobbled Dmitry Bivol. He recovered well, Bivol, but there was a second where Smith landed big on him and kind of buckled the knees of Bivol, but he took it well and recovered. Of course, to widely outpoint a common opponent in Joe Smith Jr. But yeah, as I say, this comes down to, for me, the injury to Beterbiev. As I say, I've written him off numerous times before due to inactivity and injury, but a meniscus injury at 39 years old, I can't see it. He's an absolute robot. He's a machine if he comes back and keeps coming back and beats someone of the caliber of Dmitry Bivol. So I'm going to Bivol, unanimous decision to become the new undisputed light heavyweight champion in this Saturday night's mega fight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So yeah, that's my kind of breakdown and prediction. Let us know what you think in the comments. Am I talking nonsense? Are you picking Beterbiev by KO? And break it down for me. How do you think it's gonna go, Bivol or Beterbiev? And how excited are you for this one? Like I think we all are. As I mentioned at the start of the video, please don't forget. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Give us a like on the video, hit the bell notification. It's a startup channel for me. I'm a boxing fan with a passion, hoping to share it with everybody else. So I would really appreciate a subscribe and of course get involved in the comments below. Get involved. I'm on X. Follow me on there and let's get the chat going and the discussion. Can't beat it. The greatest sport in the world. So yeah, give us a subscribe. Plenty of great content coming out. And until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.